Right, so I'm going to prepare some fresh fish food, some of my homemade fish food. I've used prawn before, but I've decided to use prepared squid. So this was this frozen, very reasonably priced. So that's going to be blended up along with all the other ingredients to give sort of the protein level of the fish food. I'm putting in 1 clove of garlic, some carrot. This is fresh from the garden, but anything from frozen will be fine. I'll put a little bit of that in there. So obviously it gives coloration of the yellows and stuff like that to the fish. Peas, you can equally use broccoli or spinach as well. But this time I'm putting in some pellet as well. I go carp fishing quite a lot, so I've got some carp pellet left over. So that'll all be ground up as well into a fine powder and act as a binder to this. Not that I've had any problems without it, so you can put that in if you want to or not. And spirulina powder, you can get this very reasonably priced from a health food store or off eBay. I buy it off of eBay. This is human grade spirulina, but I personally wouldn't digest it. Not if it's come from somewhere you don't know. I mean, it's in a plain packet and stuff like that. So just be careful with that. Also, make sure that if you're a kid, you get an adult to help you with this, because we are going to be using a blender to help do that. For the spirulina powder, you probably only need 1 tablespoon in this. It's only an additional additive. And again, all the greens and the spirulina will help with the blues colours to come out on your fish and really make them pop. So that's the ingredients I'm going to use. So I'm going to start blending. So just blending up the pellet here, trying to get into a fine powder. As you can see, it's starting to break down now, so I'm just going to continue with that. So I've blended up the pellet. It's got into a smaller crumb now. This is, like I said, this is what I use for going fishing with. So it'll be just as good for your tropical fish to your freshwater fish. It'll have proteins and oils built into that as well. So I think that'll probably be about the right sort of consistency. Don't want it sort of too powdery, but obviously want it so the fish can actually digest it as well. So I'd say that the big bits in there are probably no bigger than the bits that you'd get in normal type cichlid food. So as I said, never put this in there before, so this will be a first. So yep, I'll tip that out and then mix the next one. So next I'm going to do the squid. So this is prepared squid from a local supermarket. 400 grams here, cost me £4, so reasonably priced I think. So I'm going to put that in the blender. So you can see that's the squid being blended up. I think I'll be putting in a little bit more, or blending it a little bit more, but I'm going to put some other ingredients in as well now. So start putting in the carrots and the garlic. Put in the garlic and some carrot. The garlic and carrot all chopped up in there. They'll be blended a little bit finer than that, obviously, because you can see the carrot bits in the bottom there. Must say this smells really good for fish food. You know, the squid and the garlic smell is really good. So I'm going to now put peas in. I'll mix a tablespoon of spirulina in with the already ground up pellet. So I'll tip that all in together. But I'm going to put the peas in now. There we go. So we've got the peas in there. Just to confirm what I said before, though, this is all uncooked. So the peas, the carrots, don't cook them. Just leave them straight from the packet or straight from the garden, however you want to take them. They don't cook them because you're taking out all the nutrients out of the product. Same with the squid or the prawns. Make sure they're uncooked. You know, fish don't need the food cooked up. They don't eat it cooked in nature, so we don't put that in our food either. So that's the peas in there. Now I'm going to just put the pellet and the spirulina in there as well, and we'll mix all together and try and get a little bit sort of more of a consistency, sort of more runny consistency than what it is at the moment. Still big bits of carrot in there, so we'll chop those a little bit finer now. Alright, so there you go. So that's all the pellet and spirulina mixed up. It's a lovely dark green colour now. Smells gorgeous. And I'm no fish, but it's a lot thicker than I probably would have really wanted it to be by putting the pellet in there. So probably just add a little bit of pellet in there, a little less pellet. It's quite doughy now, but that'll hold together well in the water column anyway, and you'll be surprised how much the fish will eat it. In fact, I'm going to give a little bit of this to my community tank now to see how they react to it. So they say that the proof is always in the tasting, so here's the food I just made, so I'm going to drop it in there now. So there we go, guys. So I've got 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 sheets of my homemade tropical fish food for African cichlids. Use 400 grams of squid, which cost me £4 frozen, uncooked, some peas, some carrot, a clove of garlic, some spirulina powder, which you can pick up probably for a couple of quid on eBay. Also some ground up pellet, which I had some spare from my carp fishing days, so I'll just blitz that together. Even that though, you're talking a bag of that, it's probably no more than about £8, and I guarantee for a pot of aquarium fish food or any other type of tropical fish food, you're talking about £15 to £20 for 200 grams of food, flake food. So you know, you're not necessarily getting all the best quality stuff there either. You don't know what's in it. I know exactly what's gone into this fish food. I'm not going to be feeding this to my fish all the time. This will be a supplementary diet to normal flake as well. I'm a firm believer into trying introducing new food gradually, but also to change it up a little bit to encourage the fish to feed in different ways. You know, that helps no end. But if you're on a budget, you want to save a bit of money, then why not give this a go? Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.